Now let me direct you to page 14, and we're going to talk about developing leaders. In the greenhouse manual, we're trying to help churches become greenhouses, so some of our instruction is geared toward those churches to set up the strategies necessary to develop other leaders. I realize that some of us in this course, we are looking at our own leadership development, so we're coming from the place of being the one who's to receive these things. Or maybe you are on the other side and you're looking to develop other people, then maybe these can be helpful for you. The manual, if you'll read through that on your own, is going to talk about some primary critical areas, though, such as you see on page 14. This includes character development, spiritual formation. These are absolutely vital. Who we are matters more than what we do. What we do flows out of who we are and what God is doing in our lives. And just a word on that, you might see through Scripture that God uses the down times to develop people. As I read through the Bible again, as I just continually do year after year, right now I'm in Exodus, and I've just come through Genesis, and I've seen what, and as you have as well, how God developed Joseph. Joseph was 17 years old when he was sold into slavery by his brothers. He went and he spent another 13 years basically being forgotten by everyone in prison. But God had not forgotten him. God was working a plan. He was developing him as a leader, and he was using difficulty to do that. I'm now just in the story of Moses. Moses, who was the prince of Egypt, who was a big deal in the greatest country in the world at that time. And then everything fell apart. He kills this guy. He's chased out by Pharaoh. Instead of being the wonder boy, he's now rejected by the Egyptians. He's on the run. And while he's way out in the desert on the run, he's taking care of sheep. Now, it says earlier in the scriptures that the Egyptians detested shepherds. And so here's Moses. He finds himself from being this prince of Egypt, a people who detest shepherds. Now he's a shepherd. And guess what? It's not even his own sheep. He's working for his father-in-law out in the desert tending sheep. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. And yet at this humble place, God appears to him in the burning bush. God uses the hard times to develop us as leaders. It's good news for me and it's good news for you that we need not despair as we face difficulties, because God is still working his plan. And as my wife and I often say, and as we've said over the years, as we've walked through various challenges in life and ministry and all the things that affect all of us, we'll say this: the story isn't over. Not for you, not for the people you love, not for the people that you're training, and that's good news. So we'll talk about character development, spiritual formation, hardship, all of those things. There's a place for theological training and seminary kind of training, Bible training, the kinds of things you're doing right now through this ministerial study program. These are all important. There will be core competencies that we'll need to develop, and our Greenhouse Manual has some of those you can look at. And then there's a process of development, and we use 4 L's that we talk about, and I'm going to share those with you for the next few moments right here.